Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Peace. Welcome to another video. Got another deck profile for you guys today. I haven't done this deck profile yet, so this is a little bit late, but I wanted to do the updated profile before I change the deck, because I am going to try and take this back to locals and change it a little bit. So the other day I got third place, and there were some heavy hitters at this tournament. You can see them here, the names that you know and love. But yeah, it was 48 card Horus, super heavy Samurai Traptrix PUNK Therion. And yeah, let's just get into the profile. So, first engine is Mseti. So this is a really strong engine. It gives you a bunch of level 8 bodies, and it lets you draw one card. Really strong. I'm thinking of adding the field spell to this, which will be a nice addition, and then I could play terraforming, so I'll have 3 different field spells, and then terraforming for extra consistency. Then just the one happy. I picked up from, I can't remember his name, Julian, 2 copies, or one of each of the other names, so I can play even more names. Then terraforming can basically turn a hand of 4 bricks into a full combo and end on the Utopic Draco future, which is really strong, and you get access to your what's it called engine, your Therion engine, which is really useful. So this is a really strong package. I do want to try this in 60 though, so I am going to up the count of the bricks basically, but I'm also going to include a copy of the field spell as well. So 2 King Sarcophagus. I only have access to 2. Jake let me borrow his 1, and I own 1. I would probably play 3, especially in 60, but for this purpose, it was fine. So the Horus engine was just 6, but I think I'm going to bump that up by adding a terraforming and then 2 of the other names and then the field spell. So that was a really strong engine all day. Next up, 3 super heavy Samurai Motorbike and 3 super heavy Samurai Wakaushi. So these are your really awesome extenders. So what you're doing with this engine is you're making a level 8 synchro, which essentially turns these into a an instant normal summon. Because once you get to your level 8 synchro, Diabolantis the Menacing Mantis, you can send your Goki Pole to the graveyard, which allows you to search your Traptrix Myrmelio, which is really good. And if you already have access to that, you can just send off a copy of your Lilyboria, the Therion monster that searches the field spell or any other spell and trap, which is really strong. For these 6 starters, you do play the 2 bricks. One time in tournament, I drew both of these, so, I mean, they were scale, so I just pendulum summoned anyway, which was whatever. But, I mean, I would have rather used the effect to place this from the deck. And then the Soul Gaia booster. This is what you search off to give you a free level 4 body. So all this is before your normal summon. It gives you scales 1 through 8, plus, so you can pendulum summon, essentially, plus it gives you a rank 8 body. You can also directly overlay the 2 bodies. I don't know why you would do this, but in certain scenarios you can. When you're at this point, instead of synchro summoning, you can overlay these 2 for your Traptrix monster called Pingulia. You can use the effect to search for your Myrmelio. Then you can link this off into your Traptrix Sarah, and then you can use your normal summon on your Myrmelio. So Myrmelio will trigger searching you a trap card, and then Sarah can set Holutea from deck, and you can go full combo that way. If you really want to get into that combo and you don't readily have access to another trap card. So that is a way that you can go full combo, but you will sacrifice your scales. But I mean, that's really useful if you do happen to draw any combination of 2 of these 6, because this searches the Wakaushi, and yeah, the Wakaushi is obviously the pendulum monster. So this is a really strong engine as well. It basically lets you get into your Traptrix engine more consistently, and then it puts a level 8 body on board, which goes in theme with the basically with the entire extra deck, but with the Therion package, which is a bunch of level 8s, with the Horus package, which is a bunch of level 8s, it just gives you 1 extra level 8 body. Next up, we'll take a look at the Traptrix engine. So this is the main engine of the deck. So you're trying to get access to these and abuse the broken ways to basically make an F-Zero, which is really amazing against Tempai and a lot of other matchups as well. Like, they need a spell and trap to out it, basically, and usually you can protect it with your Regulus or something like that. But 3 Traptrix Myrmelio, really strong, especially the effect to when it's special summoned, it can mandatory destroy a spell or trap your opponent controls. I've used that effect so many times in tournament. You don't always necessarily shotgun your Holotea in graveyard to bring your Sarah back to the field. Sometimes you bring back Myrmelio and you pop their spell and trap, which is really sick. I've also brought back Pudica. So only 2 Pudica. I don't think I'm going to bump it up to 3 because I'll play Terraforming for the field spell if I really need the Traptrix field spell. But it's nice to have just an extra 2 copies for your Parallel Exceed. You can bring this back off of the Lone Fire Blossom as well. But you can banish an opponent's monster when it's special summoned, and when it's normal summoned, you search the Traptrix Garden. But what you're really using it for is linking off into Traptrix Sarah to start your plays. Finally, the brick of the engine is the Traptrix Dionea. You want this in deck to summon off of Sarah so that it can reset the trap that you ditched off of Holotea. But if you do have it in your hand, you can actually normal summon it to reborn something from grave, which is nice. So that's pretty cool. Mid combo, if you have access to your Lone Fire Blossom and you already have access to Lily Borea, you can, and you don't need to use Cattycorn, you could tribute that off to special summon your Dionea from deck, and that can set one of your traps from graveyard. But yeah, on normal summon, you can Monster Reborn one. Next up, the Traptrix Garden. This has saved me so many times. I opted to play one of this because it is searchable by Cattycorn and by Pudica, and it gives you an extra normal summon. Your Traptrix monsters can't be destroyed by battle once per turn, and in addition to that, you can banish a monster you control and special summon a Traptrix monster from your graveyard. Maybe it's also hand. Let me see this. From your hand or graveyard. So broken. This card's just amazing. Traptrix Garden. Next up, 3 Holotea. I've seen some combo lists only play 2, but you definitely, especially if you're approaching 60 cards, definitely want to play 3 of this because it's just so powerful. It's your Shade Brigandine, and it lets you extend. And to supplement that, you do play a bunch of traps, so you can discard off of it if you don't have access to your Myrmelio. Floodgate Trap Hole, Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare. This is your outs to Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel. I'm mixing up with Chaos Goddess, I think. And then finally, Gravedigger's Trap Hole. So you can sit on a Rafflesia if you really want. But honestly, you don't even need the Rafflesia. But this is a really good card. This burns for 2,000 damage. Do not forget that part. That's such a broken part of that engine. So that is the Traptrix portion. Next up, we have the Punk engine. So this is another really strong, powerful, concise engine. So we're only playing 1 no Punk Xiamen, 1 no Punk Deer Note, 1 no Punk Foxy Tune, and 1 no Punk Ogre Dance. To bring our Xiamen out from our deck, we have 3 Emergency Teleport. So this 7-card engine is actually insane. You can actually go full combo with just Emergency Teleport. So Xiamen, it acts as either a level 8 Synchro and an extra level 8 body to make a rank 8, or it's just 1 level 8 body. Because you play no Punk Ogre Dance, you can always search it and then tribute off the Xiamen to summon it, which makes it essentially turn into a level 8 body. But the reason that you play one of each of the level 8s is because once Deer Note goes to the graveyard, you want to be able to ensure that you have a level 8 on board. So when you do have access to your Super Heavy Samurai engine and you have your Pendulum Scales, what you're going to do with your Xiamen, instead of searching the Foxy Tune in order to special summon your Deer Note from deck, you're going to search the Ogre Dance. The Ogre Dance is going to add the No Punk Deer Note to your hand. Then you're going to Pendulum Summon it. But Patrick, why didn't we just straight up search the Deer Note directly instead of going through Ogre Dance? Because, like I mentioned, when Deer Note goes to the graveyard, upon Synchro Summon or Link Summon or whatever getting into the graveyard from the field, you get to target one of your punk monsters in the graveyard and special summon it. So that's how you're getting your no punk Foxy Tune or Ogre Dance on the field, which is your level 8 body. And you need level 8 bodies for this deck. You play a few rank 8s, and they're all very strong. All right, so after the Punk Engine, which by itself is insane, actually, I'm not even done with the Punk Engine. So let's just say that you've got access to your Xiamen, you get your Foxy Tune, you send it to the graveyard to summon out your Deer Note, then you can Synchro Summon for your awesome boss monster, Diabolantis the Menacing Mantis. Then you can special out your Foxy Tune as Chainlink 2. Diabolantis can dump your Lilyboria. Then you overlay into Gigantic Champion Sargus to search your Regulus. Then Regulus can target the Lilyboria, and then you can send it away to add the field spell, Therion Disc Coliseum. I'll get into the Therion cards shortly. But from there, you can actually add the Empress. Empress effect target the Lilyboria engrave, special summon out with its effect by discarding a card, and overlay those two for Zombie Vampire. Mill a couple cards, maybe special summon your opponent's Fenrir or one of your own cards, and then go full Traptrix combo if you also mill a Holotea. And then with the 2 level 8 bodies, you can overlay those for the Utopic Draco future. So just no Punk Xiamen by itself, and then 2 discards is Therion King Regulus, which is an Omni Negate, plus a Utopic Draco future, which is insane because it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. This deck just works together so well and consistently for getting what you need. Also, as I mentioned, Diabolantis, the Menacing Mantis, can also dump Goki Pole, which I'll show a little bit later, which lets you add the Traptrix Myrmelio to your hand. So it literally, this is another 6 copies of your normal summon, or well, 3 copies of your normal summon to add to the 6 copies right here. Next up is the Therion package. So this is also really strong. In previous builds, I played a lot more, but right now, this deck is so budget. Right now, I'm playing 1 Therion King Regulus, 1 Lilyboria, 1 Empress, 1 Therion Disc Coliseum, the field spell, 1 Endless Engine Argeo system, and 1 Therion Cross. This is all you need, these 6 cards. You thought the Punk Engine was small? At 7 cards, this is even smaller. And guess what? You always get to this. Because of the existence of powerful extra deck monsters, such as Gigantic Champion Sargus, you always have access to it to search it out. And since you can also access your engine by getting access to a field spell, cards like Cattycorn or Terraforming can also get you into this very strong package. Worst case scenario, you just search Lily, you target a Traptrix card into graveyard, send it off, and then search your Therion Cross. And this is either a negate or a banish for your, or while you control a Therion card. So it's just another trap card that your opponent has to layer through with their plays, another layer of disruption. Finally, just the cards that kind of bridge the engines together. I decided, since I'm playing 48, I decided to put in the 1 Lone Fire Blossom. There are many different plants that I went through, including Pudica, Lilyboria, and then the aforementioned Cattycorn, which I'll briefly talk about. But this is just really cool. And then on top of that, you can Pendulum Summon it. It just gives you an extra level 4 or 8 body. And that's basically really strong. Next up is the Goki Pole. So this is one of your main targets for your Zealantis. You can also send it off of Imseti to search your King Sarcophagus, and it'll still search your Traptrix Myrmelio. Some of your other targets you could possibly play are the Mothman, Danger Mothman, or like any of the sea monsters, I think. Or, well, no, just the level 4 ones. But still, like, it searches any level 4 insect in the game. So you could even search a tuner. I forgot what it was called. Dang, I forgot what it's called. But oh, Dragon Bite. The only level 4 insect tuner in the game. And it's a dark, which is cool. So Goki Pole's crazy. Cattycorn. People always have to read this, but this was from Battles of Legend Monsters Revenge. And if it's special summoned, the second effect when it's destroyed by a card effect that never comes up, or battle, I think. When it's special summoned and you don't control a field spell, you search any field spell in the game to your field, or to your hand. So, insane. Next up is the 3 Parallel Exceed. So, like I said, you have the 3 normal summons, plus the 2 normal summons, plus technically your Dionea, plus your 6 Super Heavy Samurai cards, which can get you to your, what's it called? Your Diabolantis the Menacing Mantis, plus your Lone Fire Blossom, plus your 3 Emergency Teleport. You have, in total, 9 plus 5 is 14, plus Lone Fire Blossom is 15. You have 15 ways. There's actually more than 15 ways because Holutea is considered a Traptrix monster, so you can make Sarah out with this. You have 15 plus ways to get to your Traptrix Sarah. So your Parallel Exceed is usually always live for you to put 2 more level 4 bodies on field, which can layer up into some really strong plays. I can't wait to show you guys this spicy Spriggan's Merrymaker, which you can make with any 2 level 4 monsters, which can immediately overlay on top of it to make Gigantic Champion Sargus to search one of your Therion cards. Super broken. And then finally, do you know how many different types of monster there are in this deck? It's an insane amount. You just play the there can be only one, and it usually hurts your opponent, and it does not hurt you. So that's the main deck, 48 cards. But I do want to add some of the field spells and stuff. And I do want to add hand traps. Shout out to Marcelo Cantor. He had mentioned that he thought that it would be pretty cool if I added some hand traps to it and just did my 2-card combos and then ended on 3 hand traps and whatnot. But yeah, I think that would be good, and hopefully I would draw my bricks less. But there are so many starters in this. This is reminiscent of the Dragon Link piles that we used to have back when LP was legal. But yeah, I think I'm going to try that with the hand traps, maybe fit in like 10 to 12 in there. I might have to cut some other things for the field spell and the terraforming, and then the 2 other names. So really, the deck is so tight, but we're going to see what we can do about it. Next up, I want to get into the extra deck. So Diabolantis the Menacing Mantis. So all the other cards were reprinted, and then this is a common. You guys have access to this deck. I'm sick of going to locals and seeing people play Traptrix unoptimally. This is so amazing. It changes a control deck into a combo deck, which is way more fun and a lot better. Whenever it's the quote-unquote mirror and I face a Traptrix player, I always win because I have pushes that they don't. And I can also play trap cards, which is amazing. So Diabolantis the Menacing Mantis. I feel like this card was made for this deck. Oh, and I read all the Ragnarika cards. Stop asking about Ragnarika. It's garbage. It needs more support. It's not good in this deck. Just stop. All right. So anyway, Diabolantis the Menacing Mantis. We still play the Psyframe Lord Omega. I think I want to put Gamma and Psyframe Driver in here, especially if I'm playing 60, because there's a lot of cards that start off the turn by just like searching or something. So you can get Astra Droll really easily. The Gamma just eats up their hand trap, and then you immediately rip a card from their hands. But the Omega is essentially for cases where you have access to your Punk package and your Super Heavy Samurai package. So you're going to be making 2 level 8 synchros. Psyframe Lord Omega is kind of like a pseudo, like infinite resource, because when it's in the graveyard, you can shuffle it back and anything in your graveyard or your opponent's graveyard back into the deck, which is really broken and infinite fodder. That's all the synchros. XYZs. Utopic Future and Utopic Draco Future. I wish that you could just directly overlay, but you have to waste an extra deck slot with Utopic Future. But this package is amazing. This card wins games by itself. Take a look at some of the videos that I posted the other week utilizing this deck. This card is unbelievably strong. I gotta get a secret rare, or maybe it doesn't come in secret rare, a CR or whatever. But yeah, like this card's nuts. It's so good. It's literally broken. It breaks the game. Traptrix Reflegia. This is just remnants of the deck from before, because now we have access to other rank 8s that can protect our plays. I don't think I'm ever going to be trying to Gravedigger's Trap Hole, so I might actually cut this for another rank 8, maybe like a Hole Harbinger or something. Or I could main deck my spicy side deck card, Coach King Giant Trainer. I wish they never reprinted it because I had an original copy. All right. Spriggan's Merrymaker, this is just really useful for overlaying and bringing you into another rank 8. So you can overlay for your boss monster, Utopic Draco Future. Unbelievable. Traptrix Pingulia, I already told you about the applications of this guy. This was such a broken card that they printed into the structure deck. It has another bonus effect if it stays on the field. But essentially, you can detach to search a Traptrix monster, and then while it's on the field, if a monster goes to the graveyard, to your opponent's graveyard by a card effect or something like that, it can attach it as material, so it just removes that resource from them. So that's kind of funny. Yeah. But in some fringe scenarios in the past, I've just had a bunch of level 4 bodies instead of level 8 bodies, and I actually used both of these, since they're non-number XYZ monsters, to make the Utopic Draco Future. So that was pretty useful as well. Next up, we're going into the rank 8s. This is going to feel so weird without Traptrix Rafflesia. It's going to feel so weird. But I think I am going to cut it. I think I convinced myself during this deck profile. Anyway, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. So this is a new addition. We had to cut Baron since it got banned. But you have the Horus package now. Or, well, I have access to it because of Jake. Shout out Jake and the Mother of Dragons. But because I have access to the Horus package, you can make rank 8 a lot easier. So I opted, instead of another, like, Synchro, I opted to play the another rank 8, which is Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, which is a nice negate. And I'm thinking of some super spicy stuff. So there's a hand trap called Curry Photon that is searchable by this card during your opponent's turn. So just draw a phase, I guess. You shotgun it and you search Curry Photon, and you can't die by battle that turn because it's a hand trap. You send it to graveyard and you pay 2,000 life points. And for the rest of that turn, you take no more damage. Insane. So Tenpai and Snake Eyes OTK, you're going to have to set up a good board because I'm going to mess you up on the crack pack because of this idea. So I think I might main deck one of those, which is another freaking card. Next up, Gigantic Champion Sargus. So this is a generic rank 8, but you can also slap onto a XYZ Spriggans monster. But this can search any Spriggans card or Therion card once per turn. It's not an on-summon effect. Its other effect doesn't come up too often, but if another XYZ monster on the field attaches for an effect, you can bounce a card with this guy's effect, which is kind of cool. Zombie Vampire. This is a lot better the lower your deck count because you're more likely to hit something useful like a level 8 body. But if you're playing a bunch of hand traps, you're probably going to mill those, and you're not going to mill your good cards. So unfortunately, this is not going to be as good in the future, I'm assuming, because I do want to increase the deck count once again. I did have this at 40 before the Horus package, and I wasn't main decking the TC Boo, but or the Lone Fire Blossom. But now that I've got access to the Horus package, this is not as good. It's hard to admit that. But, I mean, it does give you another body on board, and it lets you see what your opponent's playing. So I guess it's worth it. And then you just slap both of them on top of each other for Utopic Draco and then Utopic Draco Future or whatever. And then Zeus, it's an XYZ deck mainly, so you definitely got to play the Zeus. It's self-explanatory. Next up, Lynx, Traptrix Sarah. Part of the combo, you can layer that up into your Aromatherapy Jasmine to either bring out your Cattycorn or your Lily Borea, depending on what you need. Really nice. SP Little Knight, shout out to Team Bad Cards. Like, this should be in every extra deck of an extra deck summoning deck. And then Apollosa, Bow of the Goddess. When is this card getting banned? I would love to play a Saryuja in this slot, but this is just too good to end your board with a negate and take in the form of Draco Future. Usually Floodgate Trap Hole or Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare off of your Sarah. Therion King Regulus for an Omni Negate. And an Apollosa for 2 or 3, which is insane. So that's the extra deck. Very strong, very synergistic. But now that we're playing the Photon Lord and we have a lot easier access to level 8s than we do to level 4s, if we're getting nibbed, we're getting nibbed. But I think the Rafflesia has to go. So we'll see what I put in for that. Maybe Hope Harbinger or maybe the Giant Trainer, because Hope Harbinger also poops on Tenpai because it redirects the attack and goes directly to damage step. People don't read that part. It goes directly to damage step, so they don't get to do their cool effects that they can activate in damage step. Next up, side deck. Just some generic stuff. Giant Trainer is just another way to draw 3 cards. Read this card very carefully. You can even extend your opponent's life points towards 0, which is very useful. Triple Tactics Thrust. There's so many different things you can search with this. Talents, Harpy's Feather Duster, 3 Cosmic Cyclone for back row, Forbidden Droplet, Called by the Grave, and Evenly, along with Anti-Spell for going first. Now, guys, there's one monster, and it's an extra deck monster, and the rest are spells and traps. Do you know why? Because we got all the monsters in the main deck. When you're siding, guess what? 99% of the time, you are moving the entire 8-card Super Heavy Samurai package. Do not forget that. Because guess what? If you have any spells and traps in the graveyard, like if you're forced to use a Cosmic or a Droplet to play the game, or an Evenly, your main broken effects or your Super Heavy Samurai engine will not work. So, if you're going second, take them out. They're consistency cards that let you pendulum summon. That's it. That's all they're used for. So, don't screw yourself over by siding out other consistency cards and ending up not being able to use your engine properly. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this thorough, in-depth third place deck profile. Subscribe for more. Bye-bye.